February the 15th of this year, I died. Nobody was more surprised than I was to realise that I was dead. It must have been probably about 3 o'clock or just after 3 o'clock in the morning, something woke me up. And I really am not sure what woke me up, and I thought to myself, oh, it's a bit odd, I'm awake. Because I'd had a couple of drinks. You know, you usually sleep fairly well after you've had a drink or two, don't you? So I sat up. And I sort of looked around and thought, well, that's odd, because it's quite bright in here, really. And I also went, oh, that's even odder, because there's me on the bed. Oh, I'm dead. And I'm waiting for the light to come from heaven to scoop me up. I looked at my body and I thought, okay, that will never do. And lying next to me, oblivious, is my husband, sleeping like the dead. So I sat on the bed and I just waited. He woke up again, properly, and turned on the light, rolled me over, looked at my body, and said to me, Carmel, what have you done? Then he yelled for one of our sons, you know, James, he yelled, and I knew I was safe. And you know, the second that I knew that I was safe, or that my body was safe, there I was in heaven. It was that quick. There was no light, there was no tunnel, because I was actually in heaven. And that was a magnificent place. You know, I could see both earth and both heaven. But I'm going to tell you, first of all, that heaven is actually all around us. And this is the first thing that I learned, is that it is actually just in a different dimension. And it is actually here. And that's a terrific thing, isn't it? Because we are actually here on earth to live a human life. That is what you are here for. If you were here on earth to live an angel life or a guide life, you wouldn't be here on earth, would you? So it's really fantastic for us to look at angels and look at guides and look at spiritual beings and to acknowledge them. But it's more important that we actually acknowledge the life that we have. These are the things that they affirmed for me in heaven. So there I am, in heaven, knowing my body's being looked after, and I'm standing in this place that I could only describe as like looking down. I was aware that this was heaven and that I was looking down, and that there were grass, there were trees, there was an oasis there. So there was life there, and all around me I could see hundreds of people, and they were busy doing things. They were moving around, they were interacting, they were living. Not only were they there, but there were also animals there. Every soul that was in that place was a part of my family. And I thought to myself, even up here you don't get away from them. And for those of you who've seen me, you know I tell you that your family are the people that you're here to deal with. You have to deal with them. There is no escape. Even in heaven, your family is there with you. Those are the people that you have contracted to work issues through. And that was strongly affirmed to me up there. And then, you know, I don't know how long I'd been there. I can tell you I was again aware of my body back on earth, and I could feel my body being worked on, but not in me. Do you understand? In me there was no pain, and there was in fact no concern either. I felt quite secure. Then out of the crowd of people that were there, and there were, you know, other people that I spoke to, just briefly, some of them, and great length for others, because time moves differently in heaven. This man walked up to me, and I recognised him from the near-death experience I'd had when I was 4 years of age. And he said, I am Jesus, I am your grandfather and your father. I said, well, what are you doing here? You know, why am I here? And he said, well, I've come to greet you because this is your time. You have done what we wanted you to do. You have done what you contracted to do on earth, and this is your reward. We have allowed you to come home. That didn't suit me. Thus began negotiations. We all are going to die. And the really gratifying thing to know, the thing that I treasure most, is to know that when I die for the final time, it will not be painful. There will be people there that I love and who love me waiting, and that it is a reward. And it is a reward. It is nothing to be afraid of.